Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to Real Talk Food Network. I'm Master Chef Daddy. We have a guest chef with us from Jersey tonight. Khalif is in the house. He's going to be our guest chef tonight. Khalif, why don't you say hi to everybody? Just tell them a little bit about your channel in case there's anybody that may not know you.
Well, hey everybody, I'm Khalif. My channel is Fat Guy Skinny Wallet. I guess you can tell by that name, I'm a fat guy who is in debt, and hopefully I can lose weight and pay off debt and save money. So I talk about mainly weight loss, but try to do both on my channel.
Awesome. Alethea is here, Chef Alethea and Chef Zen. Chef Pam is not here. We're thinking there may be some weather in her area because we have not heard from her, but we're hoping she'll pop in as the show is going on. What we're going to do is share our dishes that we brought with you guys tonight, tell you how we made these dishes, share some stats if we want to. Basically, each chef can do what they want to do with their dish, explain what they want to explain, and go into detail. If you have any questions about any of the dishes or any of the chefs, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. We'll get those questions answered. If you have ideas that might spice up our recipe, feel free to share those with us also. We'd always be glad to hear. Tonight, I am going first, then Alethea, then Khalif, then and Pam. So that's the order that it came up tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation with the dish that I made. Now mine is called Daddy's Chickpea Sausage Dry Chili. So my chili is a dry chili, so it's not real saucy and soupy, but you can always prepare the extra sauce and break it down as much as you want to in the dish, and therefore make it not so dry, but it just depends on how you like your chili. I love a dry chili. I think it's absolutely amazing. So let me show you guys my dish tonight. This is, I got some wine, ain't even gonna lie, a little thing of wine. This is the dry chili. This is chickpeas in two bun-sized sausage lengths of your size. This has fresh garlic and basil, glazed onions. It also has for the chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, all mixed together to make the sauce that went onto it. I'm going to show you guys it in a bowl because it's a little bit easier to see outside. And here this is with some cornbread croutons on top. Now, one way that this chili would be absolutely amazing is to have a fresh piece of cornbread with it. Store-bought would be fine. Homemade would be better, obviously. But I put some cornbread croutons on the top of it. You guys, this dish for a half a cup has 170 calories, 195 milligrams of sodium, and 9 proteins. I did not calculate the carbs because it is a low carb. There is some carbs in the chickpea, but other than that, there's not a lot of carbs per se in the chili itself. I decided to stick it inside of a pepper because I thought the presentation would look great. And so the way that I made this dish was I prepared things separate. I did not use canned chickpeas. They're loaded with sodium. I am somebody who is really careful about sodium intake. So I bought the chickpeas in bulk. I soaked them for 24 hours. You don't have to soak them that long. I chose to do that because I wasn't preparing the meal until today. When I got home, I took those and I strained them and I put them in a pan of boiling water for about 20 minutes. As that was preparing, I took the sausages and I cut them. I put them into a pan with glazed onion dots, which are the Durat. They're in the frozen section. You use them as fresh spices and stuff in dishes. I used 3 of those. I used 2 of the dots of basil and 2 dots of garlic. That went into the meat separately to spice the meat with those flavorings. And in the blender, or you can use a whisk, I made with water, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, mix those together to make the base of what would add the seasoning to the garbanzo beans to give it that taste. So each thing in the dish, the meat and the garbanzo beans have kind of different taste to them because the chili taste is only within the garbanzo beans and then the meat was mixed in. So it's mixed a little bit, but you can really taste the caramelized onions and the garlic in the meat. And the sausage that I use is a spinach basil based sausage, so that's what's in there. It's very flavorful. I've already had some of this It does taste absolutely amazing, you guys. And again, if you want something that's a little bit thicker or have more of a, more of a consistency, like a liquidy consistency or a sauce like you would have in a normal chili, you can always add some of the extra sauce or prepare some in a dish. When you have dry chili, it is supposed to appear dry like that, but some people like more of that soupy effect. I did not prepare a soup for tonight because it was a chili or soup cook-off, or people could make both. I chose not to make soup. I think soup is very, very high in sodium, and when I take a lot of the ingredients out that I need to make a soup that I like, it really makes the soup taste bland and not that good, in my opinion. So that's why I chose not to make a soup, because I didn't feel like I could bring something to have people going out and buying ingredients to make something that really wouldn't be tasteful unless the recipe had a bunch of sodium in it. And that's just something as a master chef that I don't do. Okay. So then for dessert, you guys, I have a very simple dessert. It is a thing of it's cherry chocolate yogurt with two of these rice rolls. These you can get at Costco, and they come in the shape of a roll. And I like to dip them inside of the yogurt. You can also put peanut butter on them. These are very low in calories. The carbs are 20 for two, or you could have one. It's just a matter of how you want to spruce them up. A dessert doesn't always have to be a homemade cake or a pie or something like that. It can be something as simple as a yogurt, dipping these in it. Now, I will say with those rice rollers, that is the equivalent to an American Rice Krispie treat, and they ain't got nothing on the Rice Krispie treat, okay? I'm just saying that right from the get-go. So those are my dishes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave something in the comments. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next chef tonight, and that is Miss Beautiful Alethea.
Okay, first of all, I want to say, I didn't know we were all making it all fancy with no, and I think Khalif said that in the comments too. You didn't know there were going to be no bell pepper bowls. You didn't.
Oh yeah, honey. How do you think I've won the last 2 weeks? I got 2 blue ribbons.
Okay, let me just say, you are not winning.
There we go.
We've been on the air 2 weeks, and I have 2 blue ribbons. And tonight will be my third. And then next week, someone else will get it because I'm going to be in Vegas signing autographs, so I won't even be here. But go ahead, Alethea.
Who wins this week? Let me just say, we will see who wins this week.
That's right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Alicia.
So first of all, mine may not be all pretty in a pretty little bowl and stuff, and this is what it looks like. This is a clear bowl. Look, you can see it. I just threw some in there. But let me talk about what's in it first. Okay, first of all, I got the idea to make this one. I was talking to my girl Trisha yesterday, and from the Pretty Losers, and we were talking about, and she's like, oh my gosh, you got to try this amazing chili. So I decided to make it, and it is called, and I made it in my slow cooker, and it's called pumpkin turkey chili. Okay, let me tell you what's in it too. So in here, it calls for ground turkey, but I use ground beef because that's what I had. And I used Khalif's favorite, half an onion, chopped up. Sorry,
you really should be disqualified.
I had to go there. I used a big can of diced tomatoes. It calls for 2 cups of cubed fresh pumpkin, but of course I didn't have fresh pumpkin, so I used a can of just a can of pumpkin. A can of chili beans. I used a can of black beans. I used a can of the white, those white beans. I can't remember what they're called. I don't know what they're called. You know, the white ones. Rob, help me out here. What are those called?
Maybe Great Northern beans?
Yeah, the Great Northern beans. I used chili powder, and I used pumpkin pie spice. It called for brown sugar. I didn't use the brown sugar. I don't need the extra sugar. So, anyway, and I do have the stats tonight, just so you know. I do have them.
Good, awesome.
So I took all those ingredients and I actually went into my Fitness Pal and I entered everything in there, and I made it so it would come out to be about it's about 6 servings. So each serving, if you divide it into 6, I can't tell you exactly, maybe half cup or whatever. It's 106 calories per serving. The protein is 6.7. There's only 2 grams of fat. Anyway, and there we go. There we go. Anyway, I'm much. And I got my sriracha right here, just so you know. I got my sriracha I have to put on it. So, and I'm gonna taste it for you guys because I have not tasted it.
Okay. What's the consistency, Alethea? Can you show us? Oh, so it's pretty thick, huh?
Yeah, it's thick. Yeah, it's thick and stuff, and I mean, you could do this without the onions if you don't like onions, like weird Khalif over there, but
What's chili without onions?
I don't know. What's
Edible.
anything without onions? Oh, here we go. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Oh my gosh. The pumpkin. You can taste the pumpkin spice. You can take the chili powder. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It was a winner. Winner.
Oh, I was thinking maybe white ribbon, which is runner-up.
Blue ribbon here all the way.
Or honorable mention, I think. Isn't that what you said? White ribbon's honorable mention?
Nope. You guys got
you guys, thanks. So far we have the first place dish tonight. This is the dried chili.
This is it right here. First place right here.
Oh my God.
Honorable mention. So we just need to put
Hey, we got 2 people coming up, so you know what?
That's what I said. We'll fill in the 2 spots in between.
Whatever.
Oh, that's bad.
Whatever.
I had never heard no judge get so crazy before. You can't be judging ahead of time.
How can
Well,
you be
I gotta let people know where they are now. She could slide up when you present, and you could fall back to a white ribbon. I don't know that.
a judge and a contestant? Just answer me that.
Would you say-
Okay, we still have to iron out the details whether a dry food actually qualifies as a soup.
Right.
I mean, let's just get down to business there, folks.
That's a good question.
Really?
I mean, I could put chili on a hamburger and call it chili.
There you go. Yeah,
Alright.
Soup?
chili cheeseburger.
So you guys
would it be a soup?
questions for me?
Go ahead, Alicia. I want to know how much pumpkin is in there. What is the form of the pumpkin that's in there? Is it just a spice, or are you actually adding the pumpkin meat?
No, I put the, you buy a can of pumpkin. It's like the pureed pumpkin.
Right.
I just put just a small can of that pumpkin in there.
Oh.
Threw everything in there. I of course, brown the meat, and I brown the meat, and I put the onions in to cook the onions together, and then I just threw everything in the crock pot for 3 hours.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Is there a garlic in there too?
I added a bunch. I added a bunch of different seasonings. I added my pink Himalayan sea salt, or the pink Himalayan salt in there. You can add whatever seasonings, but I added a lot of chili powder, and I added pumpkin pie spice, which, oh my gosh, makes it amazing. So, it's really, really good. And I do have the recipe, so I'll link the recipe down below. I'll put it in the description when we're all done here.
What do you think would be a good side to go with that? Because, people usually have something with chili.
Yeah.
Some people will eat regular bread untoasted and just eat bread. Some people like crackers. Some people like cornbread.
I do cornbread a lot. I just, I didn't really think about, but I do. I do, I don't do like massive amounts of cornbread, but I would do like a square cornbread.
Might be cornbread gate soon. Cornbread gate.
Yes. Yes.
Just teasing you, Alicia.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's good. You can definitely taste the pumpkin in it. And at first I thought it was gonna kind of be weird, like a pumpkin taste, but not.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good to
So
know.
it's a good consistency and mixture of things.
And I don't like when chili is too runny. Like I don't like it too liquidy but not too thick either.
Right.
Like I'm not trying to say that, Rob, but like your dry chili, I don't consider that chili.
That is chili, folks. That is a dry
That
chili.
is not chili. Like this is chili.
This
Right here, Chuck.
recipe, I have to be honest, this recipe was a recipe that I made for President Obama and First Lady
Oh,
Michelle
here we
Here
go.
we go.
at their wedding anniversary this past year.
But you know, I'd be wondering, Rob, why would they choose a bean dish when they're going to be on their honeymoon?
Because it's amazing, and they had Beano before they ate it. But the Obamas loved it. We left some for the girls at the house, and it was absolutely amazing. I
Okay,
was offered the position. Hold on. I was offered the position of executive chef at the White House, and I declined that position. I am busy. I got things to do.
Okay, I just have to say, why would someone, like Jen said, why would someone have a bean meal on their honeymoon?
Hello?
Maybe they picked it to have it so they didn't have to kick it. Sometimes people don't want to kick it. Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
let's not go there.
let's ask the married guy. Would you have a bean meal on your honeymoon?
I wouldn't, but we went to Mexico on our honeymoon, so we had to try to avoid a lot of stuff.
There you go. See,
They probably didn't have a bean while they were there, but not one, probably.
this is what was requested from the Obama family, so I graciously.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you guys what we have coming in tonight so far. Prairie Princess Wantina is watching the show. She said, my master chef can cook for me anytime. Embracing Wellness is here. Both her and her mom are watching the show. Hi, Nadine. Hi, Mom. She loves food shows, so this is a place to come because this is, as of now, this is the only live food show on YouTube that I know of. If anyone else knows of one, you can throw it out there. I know people record videos and do things like that, but this is the only live show that focuses on food and preparation and presentation and that kind of a thing. So we're glad you guys are here. Khalif didn't know there was going to be pepper bowls tonight. That's what got me already locked in as of now into that blue ribbon position for my dish. Sarah Smelling said, pumpkin and chili, I don't know if I can come to terms with that. I'd rather have a pumpkin piece of pie, a pumpkin cookie.
I'm telling you, this is good.
Okay, I believe you.
It is good.
Hey, Daddy, Master Chef, that looks good. And Sister Scaleback said, hi, everyone. And Pink Fairy is here and says, hi, everybody. So far, only Alethea and I have presented our dishes. Alethea, let's hold up our dishes unless yours is gone, and then we're going to move on to Khalif. I have mine stuffed in pepper. It is a dry chili. And here it is in a bowl. I didn't know if maybe Alethea had ate all hers.
That was cool,
I
Boo.
didn't eat all mine. It's still there. Look. See,
Okay.
it's still there.
Okay. We do eat on the show. We're not trying to be rude, but this is our dinner usually, so we just like to eat on the show. But let's go to our guest chef tonight, Khalif. Khalif, what did you bring for us to see and the viewers to see? And can you take that gold ribbon away from me as of now where it sits?
The gold ribbon or the blue?
I gotta take the aluminum foil off.
I was thinking of my Olympic medals. I apologize.
All right, so I bought chili just because, yeah, it was gonna be easier and I like it better. Okay, so this is just, we used to only make vegetarian chili, which to me is kind of like an oxymoron, but that's what we were doing at first. And then we'll either throw in ground beef or ground turkey. So this one actually has ground turkey in it, and you can see it here. I just have a regular bowl, but it's like a fancy looking bowl. It's kind of like two-tone, but that's the best I could do. I don't know how to do all this, plating and stuff. So I don't know what you can see because I can't see myself on my screen. It's not coming to me. So it actually has carrots in it to give it a lot of bulk without a lot of calories. So it's the visible items are kidney beans, shredded carrots, and the ground turkey. And it's, let me just pull the stats up. All right, for 1 cup, it's 219 calories. It's 7 grams of fat. I'm not going to say the sodium because Rob will have a problem. It's 21 grams of carbs, 7 grams of fiber, and 17 grams of protein. And actually, with the sodium, and this one it's a little high because we used canned kidney beans instead of the fresh beans. So I mean that's a big part of the reason, and also tomato paste rather than just us pureeing a tomato or two on our own. So what I love about this, like I said, is the carrots really add a lot of bulk to it. Rather than stuffing it with something that adds a whole bunch of calories. And the great thing is it's very versatile. All the spices that are in this, actually, and there's garlic in it, of course, but all the spices that are in it actually go well with beef, turkey, and we use those Morningstar burger crumble, the kind of fake meat things.
Yeah.
We'll use those. So the only difference in cooking really is that if you're using a ground beef or turkey, you would cook that first and then incorporate the other ingredients in. And you can throw peppers in it. I don't think you can put an onion in it. I think that would actually just ruin it. But you can put other things, salt and pepper. You can put different types of different peppers and seasonings in it. I will have to say, if you have to put sriracha in it, it may not be number one caliber. If you have to doctor it up with some sriracha, maybe it should be like number 3 or number 4. So this one you don't have to do anything like that, and you don't have to.
That's why she's an honorable mention place. Right?
Okay, all right.
Can you tip the bowl a little bit? Can you tip the bowl without spilling it on your keyboard?
I could do it this much. Yeah, I can't see my face, so I don't know what you can see.
Lift it up. Go up.
Did it go up more? Is that good?
Tilt the bowl toward the screen.
I can't anymore.
So his picture will come up.
Yeah, I can't anymore because mine isn't dry, so it'll actually pour out.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is at least what it looks like. If you could see this much of it.
That looks like cheese.
I was gonna say that looks like cheese.
It's
That
actually
looks like cheese. Are you in violation? Oh, just say.
it's actually all shredded carrots.
I know. I'm teasing.
What looks like that. You can add cheese or you can add sour cream or something.
Right.
And what I usually I usually don't, but what I like to do if I have it on the side, I usually have it over rice. Sherry Ann asked me today, was I going to eat it with mashed potatoes? So that's something I never thought of trying before, but I'm like, oh, why not?
Potted cheese is good in chili too. If you're going to eat it thick. Just
I never tried. I tried ricotta cheese. And ricotta cheese was good. It made it thick. I never tried cottage cheese though. That would give it a lot of protein.
Okay,
Yeah.
Khalif, on this show, we like to try our food, so.
Are you gonna try it? You better lift up your mouthpiece.
So you're our guest. You gotta try your food.
Well, I make this a lot, so I already know. I already know how good it is.
Reaction like Alethea, all dramatic. Oh my god.
All right, I'll mute it so you don't see me. You don't hear me slurping or anything. Or I'll just move my
don't
mic.
care about no surfing.
Alethea and I will do it with you here. Okay, ready? I think my.
Damn.
Yeah, this one. Anybody who needs to vote, just fly out to Jersey and have some of this. You'll
Okay,
change
that looks
your
really
opinion.
good. I'm just saying, you need some onion in there.
Yeah.
Other than
I
that,
just gotta tell people these pieces of meat are absolutely amazing.
Oh, look at how evenly they're sliced too, Rob.
I know, isn't that amazing?
They're so evenly sliced.
You guys, real quick, let me tell you guys the story. This is a food-related story, and if you guys have any, share them because we have more than enough time. But when I was living in Michigan, I was living at an animal hospital, and I was doing an internship there because I was a small animal dietitian when I was in my 20s. And I dealt with a lot of animals that had cancer and stuff, and there was another gal that lived there named Jen. and she was a small animal dietitian also. And we each had separate apartments within the hospital, and we had to take like emergency calls and stuff that would come in, but we shared one kitchen. So we had full apartments, but the kitchen was shared, okay? Which was outside of our apartment, so we just had to go out and cook and take stuff back to our rooms. So she decides one night she's going to make lasagna. And she says, oh, are you going to want some? And I said, sure. So I gave her $10. She went and got all the stuff. She makes all this lasagna. She puts it together. She bakes it. And she cuts it up and serves it up. And I'm thinking, this tastes kind of weird. So I said to her, I go, well, this tastes different. What do you have in there? And she's like, oh, it's a sauce and then the shells and then the meat and cheese. And then, you know, she kept layering it like 3 deep. And I'm like, well, I said, the meat looks different. And she goes, oh, well, I just crumbled the meat raw and put it in the dish and then baked it. And I was like, no, you have to cook the meat first. So that's why it tasted so weird, you guys. But that is a true story, and it was absolutely gross. Now, I made lasagna then, but I know people are cooking the meat. Yeah, she didn't pre-cook the meat. She thought it would just cook mixed in the lasagna.
Oh, man.
And that was nasty. Khalif, how long does it take you to prepare that dish?
Well, I have to look and see to remind myself. Okay, 20 to 30 minutes for everything. Because it's very easy to throw the things in. It's less time if you use the vegetable crumbles because you can throw them in after you start sauteing the garlic and things like that. But after the ground meat cooks, about 20 minutes.
Okay. And Alethea, what was the prep time on yours?
It was just cooking the meat because everything else was just. Yes, I use canned everything, and I just throw the canned everything in there. And
so was it? What would you say? 30 minutes?
It was no, it was only about maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
15 to 20.
Yeah.
Mine was maybe 20 to 30. But I had to cook the garbanzo beans. If I would have bought canned, it would have been a lot quicker.
Yeah.
So,
and then I just put it I make a lot of dishes in the crock pot. I use my crock pot a lot. You know, I just throw stuff in there and cook it. It's easier for me. So I just cooked it 3 hours and by the way, I just got a message from Chris. He said it is so good. He loves.
Oh, she's got the boys eating that stuff now.
Yeah. So.
Before we go on, Trisha says that pumpkin chili is the bomb. I make it with turkey meat and add a tiny bit of sour cream. Bam, dinner is served. Blue ribbon, hands down.
See? There you go.
And then Sarah Schmeling said, dude, if you can't fart in front of your spouse, well, that's sad. Laugh out loud. It's natural body function. I agree 100%. So I think everybody should have my chickpea sausage dry chili on their anniversary. Just let me know if you want the recipe. It's absolutely amazing. Before we go to Zen, I want to ask you guys a question. Let's each give the viewers one tip of what you think they should really look out for when they go grocery shopping, just on a regular basis. Just to go grocery shopping, what is one thing other than the main thing that you would always tell people to look for? Like for me, I can't say sodium because of course that's the first thing I'm going to tell people is you should always look at the sodium count. If you're used to saying you look at the carbs, you've got to say something different than what you would normally say. Otherwise, people already know what we're going to say. So let's go to Alethea. Alethea, you first. What would you tell the viewers one thing when they go into a grocery store they should always look out for?
Well, I mean, when I know it has nothing to do with the nutrition stuff, but I'm just talking in general, like when you think about making a meal or, you know, what you're going to make, I think a big thing, and I've learned this a lot, especially since I've had my surgery, you know, eating a different way, is that it's all about, you know, different spices that you use. So, you know, just try new spices. Try different things that maybe you wouldn't have before. You know, just try new things. Try new spices, new flavors in it because it's amazing how that can change a dish.
Yes, I would agree.
I would agree.
Viewers, weigh in and let us know what is one thing that you would recommend that people do when they go into a grocery store. What is something they should really look out for or be attentive to when they're in there? Then what about you?
My tip, I think that in addition to staying on the outside aisles, if you're in a traditional grocery store, that would be like the place to buy the fresh vegetables and meats and so forth. But my tip for like a place like Sprouts Market or like a Whole Foods would be to explore some of the aisles that have the products that interest you and look for new products to try. And when you are looking at the ingredients on them, just be, aware of what it is that you're looking for in your particular food plan, and see if they line up, and try to avoid things with a lot of added things that you don't know what they are.
Okay, great advice. Khalif, what about you?
Ah, man. Okay, that was kind of what I was gonna say about the ingredient list. I guess I would say focus on foods that are high in fiber. Whether they be fruits or vegetables or, even some other thing that surprise you. I mean, like avocado is like 12 grams of fiber in it. Like, look for things that are high in fiber, because usually those are the things that will fill you up, give you a lot of nutrients, but won't be a whole lot of calories.
Yep, I would definitely agree with that. The thing I would advise is when you go in, especially into the produce section, always try to find the freshest produce. A lot of people will grab whatever's at the front. Now, if you look at things that are packaged, you will always see that they rotate that and that there's fresher things at the back. When I went in and bought salad this weekend on Sunday, the expiration date on the ones in the front were the 23rd. The expiration date on the ones in the back were the 27th. So don't be afraid to look for that. I mean, when you're done, just don't throw shit anywhere. I mean, put it back in where it goes and be respectful of that food, because someone else is going to pick it up. And another thing I like is I like stores where they refrigerate most of their produce. I like the displays that are in the middle of the produce department. I really like it when those are refrigerated. I think things that are refrigerated generally have a longer shelf life and they have a better texture to them. When you buy things that aren't refrigerated, a lot of times I feel that they break down a lot quicker. So when you're dealing with produce, I would always try to buy things, that are refrigerated. I'm not talking about apples and things like that. I'm not saying that those have a long shelf life. The things that generally have a lower shelf life, like bell peppers, cucumbers, things like that. Cucumbers can last a long time, but I think if you get them in a case that is chilled, I think you're going to be way ahead of the game as far as the consistency of how long they're going to last. But if you get them chilled, make sure you put them in the fridge chilled, and if you want them at room temperature, then take them out before. That would be my advice, and I have found that has worked amazing. So don't be afraid to move stock around, because you're paying for it, it's your money, and you deserve to have the best quality product that you can get. And sometimes you have to go to the back of the shelf to get those items.
Oh, absolutely. Rob, I agree more with that.
I have one thing to say. Maybe I'm weird, but no matter what I'm shopping for, whether it's a food item, a beauty item, anything, I will never take the one that's in the front, because I'm like, everybody has had their hands on it, and I'm weird like that, I guess. But I'm like, you don't know how many people like picked it up and looked at it and
coughed on it,
or just
yeah.
I always grab and I've got Chris trained to do that too. He's like, never grab the first one. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, people even do that with chips, and they do it with bread. Have you ever noticed how you're sitting in the aisle and everyone's taking and moving and grabbing the chips behind the one in the front, but what they don't even realize is that one used to be in the front and it's just one leg back, because really dates on the chips are always going to be the same. I mean, once in a while if they brought in a new batch, but that's not something that's like a weekly expiration in general. So they just grab that bag and it's like, yeah, but that used to be the first one. I mean, you'd have to bend your ass down and go way to the back to probably get one. And have you ever seen these people filling these chips and stuff on the shelf? They ain't careful with them bags. They're just shoving them up there because they know They ain't taking those ones home. They're taking some off the truck, right? Sister Scaleback, RNY. I'm going to read the comments, and then we're going to go to Zen. She said, let me start down here. The main tip for the grocery store is to stick to the outside aisle as much as possible. Very, very true. But you know what? You've noticed they're starting to put some hostess cakes and stuff on the outside, and little Debbie's. Now they're on little shelves on the outside. They're starting to add more and more junk food to the outside in those end caps especially. At least here in Arizona they do. Maintaining Michelle said, Rob definitely gets the blue ribbon. No, she really didn't say that. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
You're gonna say, wow, Michelle.
She said, shop the bulk bins, which is very true. I buy all my beans bulk. I think it's something that's amazing to do, but you can buy nuts bulk, you can buy seeds bulk, you can buy so much stuff bulk, and it's absolutely an amazing way to shop and so inexpensive. Sister Scaleback said, another tip is to avoid anything that has glucose, fructose, or palm kernel oil in the ingredients list. When I look at an ingredients list, if there's more than 2 things I can't read, because I'm not saying I'm educated at Harvard, but if there's more than 2 things Daddy can't read, I don't buy it. Just saying. Viewers, go ahead and feel free to weigh in if you want to share any more ideas for in the grocery store shopping. We're going to go ahead and move on to Zen. Zen, what did you bring tonight as your dish?
Okay, I actually brought a soup, surprisingly, right? I made a Thai soup, and it is made with, it is sort of a spicy Thai soup, but it isn't too spicy. It has no meat. It's made with a vegetable broth. Primarily, I add rice wine vinegar, ginger paste, cilantro, tofu, mushrooms, and chilies, and then there's a few pieces of like pepper in there just for flavor. I usually make a huge batch because my daughter will eat the whole thing, and so I had to like make a separate section of it so that it wouldn't be gone by today, by the time of the show. So I'm going to show it to you. This is, excuse me, kind of hard to see, but it is. Can you see it? It's in a clear. You can see the mushrooms, the cilantro. There might be a few green onions in it. Those are optional. I kind of like them. I believe there's a little garlic in here too, but mostly it has the firm tofu. Can you see? I don't know if you can see my camera. There it is. There's some tofu and mushroom with cilantro, and the broth is just sort of a brownish color, which is the vegetable broth, and then she put liquid aminos in here too to give it some flavor, because the vegetable broth I used was low sodium, and to be considered low sodium it has to be 140 milligrams or less. So for her, she wanted a little saltier. She added some liquid aminos to it, and there's some more of the tofu, and it's actually very delicious. And you can.
So did you make this, or did your daughter make this? Because if your daughter made it, you're disqualified.
No, I made it. She stirred. I said she eats it.
Oh, I thought you said she added.
Well, no, she might have added, but she didn't make it.
Okay.
To her own. She adds it to her own because she wants it. I tell her, when you doctor it up, you doctor your own bowl, not my bowl.
Let me call the chief judge and see if you're going to be eliminated.
You know what? I've already got a ruling on that.
Okay.
And I didn't serve mine to the president. Okay, mine was served worldwide in my restaurant chain. So.
Okay. That's the final answer.
The floors.
Okay. I'll let her know. She has been eliminated, you guys. So.
Rob, I could say that about you too, because you disqualified for not having a liquid base. Okay, straight off the
been disqualified. And anybody that knows about chilies knows that a lot of people over in like Pakistan and other places eat a lot of dry chili. That is
but we're not in Pakistan right now.
I don't cater to one group of people. I'm a worldwide chef, celebrity chef. You know
I get it. We're in the United States.
So what is your dish based? What country is your dish from? Because that ain't an American dish.
No, I didn't say it was an American dish, but I didn't say it was
So
catering.
how are you calling me out for going to the Middle East when you're...
Okay,
Here we go.
Thai, fish.
Hold on.
But
Okay.
it doesn't mean I cater to people in
Okay.
Thailand.
Sure.
You're the one who said you
Okay.
cater to people.
So you guys, the judges have disqualified her for next
Oh,
week.
jeez.
Oh, she got a 2-week penalty?
Did you bring your referee hat? 'Cause
You know what?
you did.
We need Christy from Sizzle This with her referee hat.
Right?
No, that's okay. We don't have to fight about it. I mean, everybody knows a soup from a vegetable dish. Okay.
Christy, where are you? We need your hat. We need you and your hat.
Oh, and this is true. Sarah Schmeling brought up a fact that says our bakery is on the outside aisle, which most bakeries are on the outside aisle.
Yeah. Yeah, ours are, and they have all of, not just the bakery, but all of the pre-baked goods and pies and everything is on the outside.
Oh yeah.
It's actually outside of the produce. Like you're getting an apple and you have to smell all the baked stuff right there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's-
some of our stores,
Right next to the produce department. That's true.
a lot of our stores, like when you first walk in the store, it's like right there. You know?
Mm.
So.
Now, they put a bunch of complete bullshit on the end of the aisles, you know, and it's
Oh
always,
yeah.
it's always awful.
Canned
Yeah.
meat, which are packed with sodium. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong if you eat that stuff in moderation. I'm not dogging any of it. I think it's okay to have Twinkies here and there. I mean, it's not going to kill you. It's not the end of the world. I mean, if that's your main dietary intake, then you have a problem. But for a snack once in a while, it's probably not a bad thing. But did you guys notice, this is a food show, so we're going to talk about it a little bit. Did you guys notice that Twinkies now come in just about every flippin' flavor?
No.
Caramel Twinkies,
No.
strawberry-filled Twinkies.
Don't look at that stuff.
Chocolate filled, yeah, like
Yeah. They have them dipped in chocolate now. I mean, when they brought them back, they just
They always tasted like they were very high sodium. That's one of the reasons I never liked Twinkies that much. You know, the ones that are the typical Twinkie. They tasted so salty when you would bite into it. I could taste the salt. I'd be like, this would be good if it didn't taste the salt.
There's stuff that even Oreos now. They have like birthday cake. They have what's their red velvet?
Red velvet, yeah.
I mean, they got a bunch of crazy
Well, see, I think they're getting desperate, really.
Yeah.
I think they're just getting desperate to try to grab the market because there's so many new products that are healthier.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. You know, and I don't know.
So then, well, let me ask the viewers this. Viewers, weigh in and tell us what the newest product you have found in the grocery stores within the last 2 weeks is. The newest product that you feel you've seen in the store within the last 2 weeks. Then when we go to your dish and talk about it, what is the prep time on that?
Well, I think it may be about 30 minutes. It really, because other than prepping the tofu a little, because you don't really have to dry it to put it in a soup-based dish.
Right.
You know, you just drain it and chop it up, and then you just chop your cilantro, you chop your garlic, you know, you measure your broth. And by the way, I was going to say something else about the broth. Let me digress for a second.
Okay.
There's so many different kinds of broth that you can buy now, Rob. You don't need to be concerned about making some liquid for your chili because they have low sodium ones that are 140 milligrams or less. And they even make a chicken one that says chicken-free, chicken broth, where it's, it's like organic. Yeah, they have organic ones and some that are very low sodium. So you don't have to elect for one that's 840 milligrams, you know, per cup.
Right.
If you don't want to. And so that's, like you say, something to be conscious of. And lots of stores carry the alternative ones where they're, you know, a lot lower. And just check, because funny sometimes they're actually different things are labeled low sodium, but you look and there's like 5 milligrams difference. But on some of these broths, it's between like 840 and 140 is a huge difference. So that would make the difference between you going liquid and having it dry.
I think the labeling has to do with how they label it. Like if they tell you a percentage, then they have to come in compliance with the percentage that they're telling you. If they just say lower sodium, well, that could be 5 milligrams less. But if they say it's like 50% less sodium, then they have to cut that product from the original state of the original brand by that amount. So that's why you're saying you're right. It's a marketing ploy, and it's a way for a gimmick for them to put low sodium on it, and someone grabs it and says, "Oh my God, lower sodium! I'm taking this." When really, it's not that much lower.
In addition to that, Rob, and guys, the lower sodium, a lot of time they're going to charge a lot more. That's the other thing. So if it's only a few milligrams, it isn't going to be worth it. But maybe if it's a lot lower and it's something that you want, you might want to spend the extra money to get it, if it's worth it to you.
Okay, now I'm going to ask each of you guys a question about the dish that you made tonight. And I want you to be 100% honest. We can joke after, but let's be 100% honest. Okay, you own a restaurant, and you put the dish that you made tonight on the menu. How much do you charge for that dish? How much do you honestly charge for the dish? Say you're at a restaurant where it's served to people, you put it in a bowl, it's a decent amount, blah, 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 blah. It comes with cornbread or a piece of, like a breadstick or whatever you want to say. It comes with a little something to go with the chili. What do you charge for that dish? Or soup in Sen's case, I apologize. What do you charge for that dish on the menu? We're going to start with Alethea, go to Khalif, and then Zen and myself. Alethea, what do you charge for that meal?
Oh gosh, I always gotta start with me. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, like $10.
$10 even?
Yeah.
And is it in a bowl or a cup or?
In a bowl. I would say in a bowl with a piece of cornbread. Yeah.
Okay, $10 for a bowl of chili and some cornbread. Okay, Khalif, what about you?
Okay, I would charge $3.95 for a cup and $6.95 for a bowl.
And does anything come with it, or is it just the soup only?
I would give the option to add something like cheese or whatever, and if you wanted to add a side to come with it, the cheese would be free, but a side would be like $1 extra if you wanted to have it over a cup of rice or something like that. I would try to not make it too expensive because it's really not a whole lot to it.
Okay, sure. Zen, what about you, your fish?
Well, if mine was at a Thai restaurant, I know it would be pretty expensive, but the basic, just with tofu, would probably be sold by the bowl or like the hot pot size only. And so for a bowl would be $6.95, and for the hot pot where you get enough for like 3 or 4 people, you would probably make it about $9.95. And you could add shrimp to it, the ones that have the fire under them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, is having shrimp added to this would be awesome, or usually that's what comes in it in Thai restaurants. I just wanted to make it meat-free, so to say.
In my restaurant, Daddy's Kitchen, my dish would serve for a cup of chili, a cup of dry chili. This would be with cornbread croutons and a breadstick on the side. I would charge $5.95. If you wanted the dinner, which comes with 2 stuffed peppers, some regular sized piece of cornbread with some honey butter, and this bottle of wine, this small little single bottle of wine, that would be $11.95. Okay, so you guys can get that in one of my restaurants. I have a restaurant in Arizona, Michigan, and Colorado. Thank you very much.
Colorado? That's random.
Here we go. I'm just letting people know where my restaurants are. It's called Daddy's Kitchen. Okay. Let's see what comments we have real quick, you guys. Trisha said fiber is your colon's best friend. Very true.
Yeah, and you have chia too.
Yep, chia.
Really
Sister Scaleback said, I recently tried textured vegetable protein for my chili. My husband didn't even notice the difference. Sarah said, don't knock my Oreos. Sarah likes Oreos. She says, Khalif said, what about the Halloween candy ones? And she said, I didn't try that one. I like the mega stuffed ones. Oh my God, the mega stuffed Oreos. I bought some a while back, y'all. I started eating them, and I literally had to turn on the faucet and start putting them down the garbage disposal. Because they were like this big each with the filling in the middle. But as the garbage disposal was going, I was putting them in slow because I ate another one, another one. So they ended up going down. I think when all was said and done, I probably had 8 or 9 of them. But I'm not even going to lie, you guys. I did that. Matthew's tip is to buy local ingredients, especially from local farmers. They seem to taste better. Okay? So that was the question that they said. Or the comments that they had. Anyone that wants to share a comment can. Now I have a surprise even for the cast. Okay? Well, they're going to be surprised. Khalif can play, but Alethea and Zen cannot. So, you guys, I bought this can, and you can look at it. Here's what it is. I'm not going to show you what the back of it says. Whoever can get to within, if anyone comes within 25 grams of milligrams of sodium for the whole can, I'm going to send you a $25 Starbucks gift card. You have to come within 25 milligrams. The person closest without going over wins. If 2 people tie, we'll draw a name for the winner. Here's what it is. Look at the name because the name could make a difference in the sodium that's in there, okay? There it is. Okay, so you guys start putting your answers in right now because we have to get that done. Don't be trying to look it up online because I'm going to close it in about 1 minute. Okay, so you guys type your numbers in, get your numbers in. You have to guess the total amount of sodium in this can. Okay, the total amount in this can for the whole can.
Yeah, I placed a wager, but I know it doesn't count.
Okay.
I gotta place my bet.
Okay, let's see what's coming in. No one's guessed yet. So we'll give them another minute. Guess the total milligrams of sodium in this can of Chipotle pinto beans. And if you can guess it, then I'm going to send you a $25 gift card. The person closest to within 25 milligrams. If no one gets within 25 milligrams, nobody gets the card, and we'll give it away another episode. Because you have to get within 25 milligrams without going over. Okay?
You should have had them guess the calories, fat, and carbs as well, just to see who could come closest on all those ranges. That would show an educated viewer. Of course, we know all of our viewers know these things.
Wow, you're tough.
Yeah, I know.
You gets it right on, but I mean, most people when you go shopping, you kind of memorize that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Within a range. You say, okay, I know I get this has fiber.
Do you see anybody weighing in on it?
I see one person.
That's all I see.
Yeah.
But there is several watching, so you guys, again, you have just about 30 seconds left to get your guess in on how many milligrams of sodium are in this can of Chipotle pinto beans. And if you guess it right within at least 25 milligrams of what it actually is without going over, you'll win a $25 $25 Starbucks gift card. If no one gets in that, then we'll give it away another time.
Why don't we continue this conversation? Yeah. And then
I see 5 people so far.
There you go.
Yeah.
You see 5 people have?
One.
Yeah. And I think they're all terribly low. I think they're all like way off.
I see like 6.
Okay, we're going to check one more time, you guys, and then we're going to close it. Khalif and Alethea, please check also because sometimes my iPad loads slow. I don't want to leave anybody out. I don't want to forget anybody. I would feel terrible. These are the numbers that we have coming in. Sarah Schmeling said 2,300. Maintaining Michelle said 325 milligrams. Terry said 195 milligrams. Sherry Ann said 750. Sister Scaleback RNY said 2,200. And Pretty Loser Tricia said 1065. You guys see anybody else?
No.
Nope. Okay. So everybody has guessed. This is what it actually was. I'm going to write it down for you guys, and then I'll show you the back of the can. This was how many milligrams of sodium
Wow.
that whole can was in there. And here is the back of the can. It was 520 milligrams per serving, and there is three. Oh, hold on a second, you guys. There's an extra half of. I gotta figure this out. See if anyone got within the range. They didn't. Okay, so it would only put it over. I apologize. It's actually going to be 18. Oh, I apologize, you guys. Hold on. 260. I didn't realize that it's going to be 1820. 1820 is the milligrams because there actually is 3.5 servings, they say, inside this can. Wow. Anybody can eat this whole damn can at one time. I mean, let's get real.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a whole day's sodium. It's actually over a whole day's sodium.
Yeah, it's so 1820 is what it was. Nobody was within 25, so you guys, we'll have a giveaway on another show. That $25 Starbucks card is still there for the grabbing. These giveaways are not going to be easy. When we have a giveaway, they're not going to be easy. So start doing a little bit of research just on different stuff, and it's going to be fun. But you guys, let's leave the viewers each with one comment tonight about whatever you want to talk about having to do with food or anything that you want to talk about with the viewers. Let's start with Zen and go to Khalif and Alethea. Zen?
My final thoughts?
Yep.
I think that, I hope everyone has an amazing week, and I think that it was fun to prepare soups and chilies, and there's so many different varieties of things that you can make, and also include a lot of healthy stuff. You can actually even, for chilies, put in kale and spinach and stuff like that, so your kids will never know the difference because it cooks down. So I think that that's also a really good way to get additional vitamins into your food. When you're making a heated dish, just slip that spinach and kale in there. And like I said, then later you can say, well, did you know that there was spinach and kale in there? They'll be like, normally if they would have gagged on it, you can just get away with it. Anyway, okay. That's my tip.
Khalif, what about you?
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep this short. I think I would tell everybody, just try to make sure that you're not making food your ultimate source of pleasure. I was talking to someone this week, and we were kind of having that conversation because that's where we both found that we were getting in trouble at different points, either pleasure or comfort or those types of things. And we know that, but in the moment we don't know it. In the moment we forget, and we just like, oh, this is going to taste great, or this is going to make me feel better. And I think we need to really focus on, when we're not in those moments, building up strength. So when we get to those moments, we have something to fall back on. Because when we're in those moments, we're not going to be strong. So at least that's how my take on it. Awesome.
Khalif, thanks for joining us tonight, too. It's very, very fun to have you on the show. Very nice. Khalif's show, Renew, is on every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with his co-host, Sherry Ann and Sarah. And sometimes Brooke fills in over there or joins you guys over there, so that's always fun and amazing. But you guys, if you haven't seen that show, check it out. It's every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is Renew. Okay?
Thank you.
What about you, Miss Beautiful Alethea?
Well, I want to say something about our show, just how we kind of like went a different direction. I've seen a lot of people, very interested in seeing our different styles of cooking, and I think it's fun. I think it's been kind of eye-opening to different people, just kind of seeing what kind of stuff that you can make. And like Khalif said tonight, you can add stuff to your food to kind of like bulk it up, but without the extra calories and stuff, And I don't know, it's been really fun, especially for me, because I'm not really like, I really don't like the kitchen, but it's been a lot of fun. I've gone and I've tried new things, tried new recipes, and and last but not least, you can vote for my chili tonight. Go ahead and vote down below for mine if you want me to win. So I'm just saying.
An honest question. And I'm being honest, do you like the color white?
No. I like blue.
So you better get used to it because that's the color of your ribbon tonight. That's an honorable mention. That's last place.
Blue.
So, you guys, I want to just tell everyone I'm having an amazing time doing the show. It's super fun. I think it can be fun. I think it can be educating. It's different. We all have fun. We're just joking around with each other. We all go in and make these dishes and bring them to the table. And I will say I'm getting very used to the color blue. Having said that, this is my third week in a row winning, and I'm going to give Khalif the red, Zen the yellow, and Alethea the white. So,
okay, who made you judge? Who made you judge?
I'm the master chef.
Danny is a legend in his own mind.
I'm the master chef, so I'm the one, I'm the master chef. So,
but you can't be the judge and the contestant.
I promise you that someone else will win next week. Someone else will get the blue.
You won't be here.
That's because I won't be here. So I won't be here next week. I'm going to miss you guys. It's going to be fun. Zen's going to be in the driver's seat, so to say. But you guys, we're looking forward. And next week is going to be. Go ahead, Zen.
Appetizers?
Isn't it two appetizers? Appetizers and finger foods.
Yep.
So,
you know what? We got that locked down. So.
Yep.
All right.
So you guys, that'll be super fun. Again, thanks to all the viewers for interacting with us, coming out and watching the show, supporting it. It is very different. We understand that, and we're all finding our niche, but we're having a blast over here, and we're so glad that you come and join us every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.